fortunate that I have time to myself at the weekends with no need to rush to get up. So I find that this is the perfect time to recharge and romanticise or make the most of the cold and crisp November mornings. I like to take my breakfast back up to bed, light a candle, snuggle back under my warm and cosy duvet and indulge in my favourite pastime, reading. I can't hold a book while I eat, so first I watch a video by one of my favourite cosy content creators. Here's a few of my favourite ones at the moment. Then it's time to create a cosy environment by setting a roaring fire on my laptop and settling down with my book. I'm a seasonal kind of person, and I find that these darker, colder, more crisp November mornings are just perfect for murder mysteries, dark academia and thrillers, both for reading and also for watching on TV. I'm quite a slow reader, so I only usually manage to read one book a week, but instead of making a set sort of 4-book TBR, I like to have sort of a little pool of books that I can draw from. So I'm just going to show you my pool of books for this month for November, and hopefully you'll see something that you might like to read too. Also, I'm really interested to find out what you like to read in November and also what you like to watch on the TV. So if you've got any recommendations, I'm always up for recommendations. Please do put it in the comments below and we can sort of share our different recommendations between each other and start to build a little community where we can share our ideas. So the first books that I've got to show are really an obvious choice for the thriller murder mystery, and it's the Queen of Murder Mystery, Agatha Christie. So I've got 3 Agatha Christie books. The first one is And Then There Were None. Now, I'm probably not going to read this one because I have watched the film, which was excellent, really enjoyed it. So I'm probably not going to read this one at this point, but I do have 2 that I haven't read. The first one, Murder is Easy. The second one, Sparkling Cyanide. I actually just remembered as well that I have another one on my Kindle, which is something to do with the seance. I can't remember what the title is, but it's to do with the seance. So I do have 3 Agatha Christie books there. Now, I'm not going to read the backs of these because Agatha Christie's are all murder mysteries. They're all very twisty turny, which is something that I really enjoy in a book, and I'm really going to enjoy reading one of these this November. I will only pick one from the Agatha Christie pile, and it's probably going to be Sparkling Cyanide. Now, something else that I always think of in November with the darker nights is Sherlock Holmes. Anything by Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes. And I've got this book, which is The Hand of the Baskervilles, and it's got the most beautiful cover. I don't know whether you can see, it's got gold foiling and it's just really beautiful. So I really want to read this year. I've seen obviously the different adaptations of this on the TV and stuff, but I've never actually read the book. So I really do want to read this book. This is, grab my glasses. Join Holmes and Watson as they investigate what is perhaps their greatest and most famous case, that of a deadly curse, and are confronted by a seemingly supernatural power. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's wonderfully eccentric detective and his loyal friend Watson face their most challenging mystery yet in this much-loved classic. Really, really do want to read this one. The next one in my little pile is this one, Murder at the House on the Hill by Victoria Walters. Another lovely cosy murder mystery. I've read some of Victoria Walters' other books, and this is her first murder mystery. So I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this one this year. I have started reading this one. So this one's about a girl called Nancy and her grandmother who run a bookshop. And it's a bookshop that specialises in thrillers, murder mysteries. And Nancy and Jane find that they kind of accidentally get drawn into an actual murder mystery of their own. And it follows that story through. So really, really looking forward to finding out what happens in the end of this one. Now the next one I've heard little bits and bobs about, but I haven't read it yet, and it's this one, The Appeal by Janice Hallett. Now I think this is a kind of choose your own path kind of book, although I'm not entirely sure. It says on the front, 1 murder, 15 suspects. Can you uncover the truth? So there's the cover. On the back, there's a mystery to solve in the small town of Lockwood. It starts with the arrival of 2 secretive newcomers and ends with the tragic death. Roderick Tanner QC has assigned law students Charlotte and Femi to the case. Someone has already been sent to prison for murder, but he suspects that they are innocent and that far darker secrets have yet to be revealed. Will Charlotte and Femi solve the case? And will you? So, as a kid, as a teenager, I really loved those books where you choose your own path. So you make a decision and then you go to the certain page for that. So if this is like that, I'm going to be really, really happy and I'm going to really enjoy it. But it's all inside, I don't know if you can see, it's all kind of in letters or text or emails or something in there. So I don't know, I think you have to try and solve it as you go as well. But it's all in the form of correspondence. So that's something different to the books that I normally read. So maybe this one is going to be, they're all going to be on my list, aren't they? But maybe this one's going to be on the list for November too. The next one's one that I've been wanting to read for ages, and it's The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I've got quite a few of Jessie Burton's books, and I've just got on Kindle the follow-up book to this one. So I really, really do want to read this one. So I don't know, I need to prioritise these books. Maybe some of them are going to slip into December and January. So on an autumn day in 1686, 18-year-old Nella Ortman arrives at a grand house in Amsterdam to begin her new life as a wife of the wealthy merchant Johannes Brandt. Though curiously distant, he presents her with an extraordinary wedding gift, and it's a cabinet-sized replica of their home. And he gets the miniaturist to make all of the little things in the home, so it's an absolute replica of the home. But as Nella uncovers the secrets of their new household, she realises the escalating dangers they face. The miniaturist seems to hold their fate in her hands. So does she plan to save them or destroy them? So things start to go a little bit weird, and things start happening with this this doll's house and the miniatures. And it starts to replicate their life, and it seems like the miniaturist that made the doll's house is kind of controlling them. So yeah, looking forward to reading this, and also so that I can go on to then read the sequel book too. Now the last book on my pool is this one. You can see it in the light. Wuthering Heights. This is a beautiful copy. This is actually my mum's copy of Wuthering Heights. Now, I've been meaning to read this for a long, long time. I keep putting it off, but I really, really want to read it. And there's a simple reason why I want to read it. And that is, it's a really, really popular story that everybody loves. And, you know, it's saying it's an epic love story and it's fantastic. I've watched now. I really, 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 really want to love it. It seems on the surface the kind of book and the kind of story that I would absolutely love. But there is a big but. I've watched in my pursuit of really wanting to enjoy it, I've watched lots and lots of film adaptations of this, and I don't like it. Unpopular opinion maybe, but I don't like it. All I see is 2 extremely toxic, extremely not nice people that quite frankly deserve each other. And I don't see an epic love story. I see abuse. I see abuse. I see narcissism. I see just 2 vile people that deserve each other. So this is my last ditch attempt. I want to read the book. I want to go to the source material. I want to read the book, and I want to see if I see something different in there that I'm not seeing in the films and in the other adaptations. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's supposed to be this epic love story, a spooky tale. It's got all the elements of what I should love. So I really want to read this. November seems the time, because obviously Wuthering Heights, wuthering is the wind rushing around the house, and it seems very autumnal, very dark, very Novembery. So I really do want to try and read this book this month and get it out of the way, and I shall let you know what I think. And I would be really interested to know what you think too. Let me know whether you think it's great, whether you think it's this epic love story, or whether you just don't like it. I'm not sure if I'm on my own here. Now, going on to TV shows and movies for this month, there are a couple, or there's three actually, new things coming out on Netflix that I really want to watch this month. The first being the second Enola Holmes movie. Now, I actually watched this last night, really enjoyed it. Can't go wrong with Millie Bobby Brown as far as I'm concerned, and can't go wrong with Sherlock Holmes stories. Love it, absolutely love the BBC adaptation of the TV show Sherlock. If you haven't seen that, I absolutely recommend that. It's amazing. We've watched it multiple times over. Enola Holmes 1 and 2 are the story of Enola, who is the sister of Sherlock Mycroft Holmes. So she's very much younger than they are. She's been raised by her mother to be fierce and strong. Her mother's kind of a suffragette. She's all for women's rights, and Enola has been raised to be able to fight and to be sharp-minded like Sherlock. The first one follows her story, her initial story, and her solving a case. And the second one, she's a little bit more grown up now. It's a couple of years later, and she wants to start her own detective agency and become a detective in her own right. So this follows another case that she has to try and solve. And also Sherlock Holmes is in it quite a lot, and the relationship between the two and the way that they work together. Yeah, and it was really good. We absolutely enjoyed it. My son and I both really enjoyed it. So definitely that's a good one to watch for this month. The second one that I'm really looking forward to is Wednesday. So this is the new adaptation of the Addams Family, of Wednesday Addams' story, and really looking forward to it. It's just going to be brilliant. From all the trailers that I've seen, it looks fantastic. I have really high hopes for it, and I really hope that it comes through and it's as good as it looks. And the last one is actually a new Netflix movie that's coming out. And again, I hope this is done justice and that it is as good as it appears it's going to be. And it's The Wonder. And it's a movie from this book that I read last year, The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. And it was really good. I really enjoyed this book. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie. Now, it's not epic action packed. It's quite slow moving, but not boring slow. It's slow because it has to be. It's building and it's building, and then it comes to the conclusion. And it's about a young girl who's seen as some kind of miracle because she seems to be surviving and thriving on no food, on zero sustenance. There's a nurse that gets sent. She's a Nightingale nurse, and she gets sent over simply to observe this girl. She's not supposed to interact. She's not supposed to interfere. She's supposed to just sit back, observe. And there's two of them. There's the Nightingale nurse, and there's another lady as well, and they take it in shifts. So they're watching it all of the time, so that they can make sure that it is true, that she has no sustenance, and that she is thriving, and that she's okay. So they're supposed to report back. So the story follows that. So there is a lot of the nurse kind of sitting and observing and, you know, working things out for herself. But it is very good, and I'm hoping that the movie version is going to be as good as the book. So yeah, maybe give that one a watch this month as well. Now, a few other recommendations for things to watch this month. These are, you know, my personal recommendations. So anything Agatha Christie again. So for us, we love the Doctor Who one where Agatha Christie is involved, and there's also an Orient Express one in the Doctor Who series. So there's those. There are lots of films, older films of Agatha Christie stories, but the more recent ones we've watched are Death on the Nile, and Then There Were None, and Murder on the Orient Express. And we enjoyed, when I say we, my son and I enjoyed all of those. They were really compelling. They kept us guessing the whodunit sort of aspect of it. They kept us guessing right to the end, and we really did enjoy watching them. The next one is Knives Out. Really, really good murder mystery, and it's fun, it's light-hearted, it's funny in places, it's, you know, there's the murder mystery aspect, and it was a really good fun film. We've watched it a couple of times, and it follows the story of an old guy who, you know, he's rich, obviously, as they always are, and he owns this big house, and he dies. He's ill. He's ill, and he's got a maid, a nurse looking after him. Obviously the family all descend, and it's a who done it, why did he die, or why was he murdered, and who murdered him. And it follows Daniel Craig as the detective trying to find out who murdered him, and going through it. It's also sort of very Sherlock Holmes type thing, where he's trying to work out who it is, and it's quite twisty turny again, something I love. Yeah, we really enjoyed that, and there is a sequel to that coming out this year called, I think it's called Glass Onion, so really looking forward to that one coming out. My last recommendation for this month is actually a TV series. I think it was on Amazon Prime, I can't remember now, but we watched it. It's called Bad Sisters, and it's such a fun time. I can't remember how many episodes, but it's only a few episodes, something up to 8, and it's a family of sisters. One of them's married to an awful man, and the other sisters don't like him, and quite rightly. He's a vile guy. He's very controlling, very manipulative. And without giving too much away, it's all about, it starts where he's died, and his wife is trying to claim his insurance, obviously, because he's died, and the insurance company are trying to work out whether he has died, or whether he was killed, or whether he killed himself. I can't say too much without giving it away, but it's about these sisters and why he died, how he died, and it is such a fun time. And it's even more fun, probably shouldn't say this, but it's even more fun because the guy is awful, and you just really want him to die. And every episode things are happening, and you think, is this it, is this it, has he got it this time, is he going to bite the big one? And no, he doesn't. And you know, you just really want him to go. So yeah, it's fun, it's brilliant, it was really well written, and it's a really good watch. Really, really enjoyed watching that one. So really hope that you found something there that you might like to watch yourself. Please share your favourites and things that you like to watch and read this month in the comments below. And I hope that in this colder, darker season you manage to keep well and healthy, and find some time for yourself to enjoy doing the things that you love. And I shall see you again next time. Bye for now.